What's going on? Welcome to Website Rescue. I rebuild websites and show you what's actually keeping them from getting found. Today we're looking at a website that scored a 62, and I'll quickly explain why that's important. When a website isn't set up properly, Google and AI search tools have a harder time understanding it, ranking it, and showing it to customers who are actually looking for what you need or what they search for. Page 3 websites don't get found. So let's get into it. The first thing hurting the score is this website doesn't even have a clear H1. It doesn't have an H1 at all, actually. The H1 is a topic signal for the page. It tells Google and AI what the page is about. If that's missing, you're making the search engines work harder to figure out what they should rank you for. And the reality is they're not going to do that. Then we get into the schema and microdata. This site's missing that entirely, which sounds complicated, but it's really just the structured information that exists behind the scenes that tells Google and AI searches what your business is, what it offers, where it operates, and how it should be classified. It's one of the most critical things a website has to have. And most of your DIY, your Wix, Squarespace, WordPress platforms, it's very hard to do schema properly, or well, I'll say well. And if you don't give them that information clearly, then they basically have to guess. And guessing's not a great strategy when you're trying to be number one for 12 particular keywords. There's also no FAQ content, which is today more important than more important than ever. And that matters because AI search pulls heavily from the question and answer style content. So if someone asks their AI tool, who's a reliable classic car broker for a 1964 Jaguar E-Type, this person probably wants their website to come up with a result. So you want to have content that clearly answers that kind of question. If the site has strong FAQs, clear service language, and a great structure, it gives AI search more to work with. So then we get into their image issues. There's only like 7 images on the whole page, but they're not WebP, and that adds weight, makes the page much slower than what it should be. The site's also missing internal linking, not a 911 issue, but it's not great. And the list just keeps going. Like, we can dive in here in just a minute. Yeah, so here's their scan. And as you can see, there's 4-second TTI, which isn't terrible, 8 non-WebPs, 7 accessibility issues. That's a legal issue. Some countries are really starting to enforce that quite a bit, so it's literally a legal issue to have accessibility taken care of. Here's the missing schema. They actually have the crawling bit done on the site, but there's nothing to crawl. So like the function, the structure of that part is done properly, but it still doesn't tell Google or AI search what this website should have. Then we dive into the performance vitals. Again, all those big, large format images that it doesn't need. You don't lose anything by going to WebP. I mean, you won't see it on a computer screen, but that hurts the LCP. It slows down the site. Tons of missing errors on the image side of it. Basically, nothing was done properly. But let's dive in. And I can't show you guys this because it's all proprietary stuff, but I'll be back in just a second with the new site. All right, here we are. 96, 1.22 second interactive, rockstar shit right there. All WebP, no accessibility issues, green across the board. And you want to see what it looks like, right? And now it actually looks like something. If you're going to spend $2 million on a classic Ferrari, are you going to buy it from this or this? It's not hard to figure that one out. All right, so we got a proper H1 now. A lot of language that is easy for the user to consume, but yet gives a lot of details for Google search and AI search to understand what this site is, what they do, what makes them different. These are all major keywords. They also link to pages, so that internal linking is taken care of. Now we got the FAQ. This AI is going to eat this up. Basically all these questions, and you can dive in, you can go way deep in the questions, and you can use all kinds of functions to kind of hide the questions so that it doesn't bombard the user, but yet you cover basically anything anybody could ever ask about your particular industry, and you could keep that updated as things go. So anyways, that's it. This is the first episode of Website Rescue. I did blur out the names of the business just from a copyright perspective. We do have a free scan if you want to see what your website did. The free scan has no email, no sign-ups, nothing. You literally punch your URL in and get the result. And if you don't like the result, reach out. See you guys.